Hey, recording on my cell phone today, so I'll have a little bit of a different look today. So this is not going to be a super long today video. I promised you guys I'd try to get a video out once a week, and so here it is, Tuesday. So going to keep my promise. No huge news on the football, basketball front that you guys don't already know about. I just wanted to talk about first. Let's see what news. We have a new football recruit, safety, I believe. Can't remember his name now. I had it right here written down, and I can't find it. Hester, I think his name is Hester or Pester or Fester or something like that. If you want to know what this guy's about, he looks like a decent one. He looks like he's a 3-star safety, and he's you can go to 247hawkeye.com, or maybe we'll get it posted on our page too. But Nolan Hawkeye Anthony has posted his video about this young man. So there's, it'd be a repeat for me to go and repeat everything Nolan did on that video. So I'll have it posted to the Iowa Hawkeye sports page here in a little bit, and then you guys can go listen to Nolan's take on the young man. And so, okay, that being said, so we have a new safety, and I believe I read somewhere where the 2023 football recruiting class is now ranked 10th nationally. Yeah, it's still early yet. It's based on not only where they're ranked, but the quantity too. So I don't know where everybody else is at, but leave that with a grain of salt, and we'll see where they end up when it's all said and done. Iowa's had a couple of their best recruiting classes the last couple of years, and if you remember right, about this time last year, we were all worried that Hawkeyes weren't building enough momentum in their 2022 recruiting class, and we all know that they ended with a flurry and got a lot of the people they wanted. They didn't get any of the tight ends they wanted, but that they initially wanted. They got some later, but not the ones they initially thought they wanted. Okay, so there. Now we got some wrestling news. Iowa's losing a 141-pounder to the transfer portal. His name, I forget his first name. His last name is Henson. 141. Went in 18-2 this year as a redshirt. He wrestled in several tournaments and things like that. But so he's leaving. I think he was thought to be the heir apparent at 141, but that all changed when the day before he went into the transfer portal. Iowa took a transfer portal person named Real Woods. I guess Real's his name. His real name? Real? Is it Real? And he's a 141-pound All-American who was probably going to be the heir apparent at 141 now. And so I think Henson didn't like that, and so I think he wants out and wants to look for an opportunity where he can be the guy next year at 141 at somebody's weight. So it looks like Iowa is out to improve itself for next year and make some decent things on the wrestling front. So I kind of keep doing this to kind of give you guys not the same view all the time. Now that I've given you what little bit of news I know, let's talk a little bit about football for next year. It's still spring football, and people are really starting to drink the Kool-Aid, thinking Iowa is going to be super, super good next year, and another 10-win season is in the books. And I agree with a couple of people who said, we've had 2 out of the last 3 seasons have been 10 wins, and if it wasn't for a COVID-shortened season, and Iowa could have likely had a 10-win season there. They were doing pretty well. And they didn't even get to play their last 2 games, so a 6-2 record could have easily been 8-2. So, Iowa's showing that it can compete, but its defense this year is what got it to 10 wins, not its offense. Now the year before, when they went 6-2, the offense was very good, but also the offense. I mean, the offense was pretty decent, and the defense was pretty decent. I think it was a combination of both those things that helped. And I know that people are iffy with the offense right now. I'm not as iffy. 2 years ago, in the COVID shortened season, Iowa averaged 31 points a game, and if they had averaged that this year, I think they would have only lost one game. That would have been the Michigan game. So, and even then, things might have worked out different. If Iowa had had a better offense, things might have gone different in the Michigan game. So this year, the offense needs to get back to that. If they can average 31 points a game again, I don't know if they still will get to 10 wins. I keep looking at Ohio State on their schedule. Got to go to the Horseshoe, got to play Ohio State up there, and I don't know if there's anybody left from the 2017 team that remembers the Woodshed game, but that's when 2017 was when the Woodshed game took place, and Iowa just thoroughly manhandled Ohio State, who was a heavy favorite. Nobody even thought Iowa could win that game, but yet they did. It'll be the same this year, but this year it's at the Horseshoe. We don't have our fans backing us. We don't have our band. We don't have all that momentum that we had that year. So, I don't know. I'm just thinking how tough it's going to be to get 10 wins. We've got Michigan on the schedule. Granted, I don't think Michigan will be as good as they were last year, and we have them in Iowa City, so I give Iowa a chance in that game. A chance. I'll give it 50-50, okay? I don't, at this point, I give Iowa a slight chance in the Ohio State game. I give it about a 10%. And it depends, by the time we get there to the Ohio State game, where Iowa's at offensively. We cannot go into these games thinking that our defense is going to carry us and keep the games close, and let the defense win it at the end, because that's not working. It didn't work against Michigan. It didn't work against Kentucky. Okay? We must come out firing the ball. Okay? I believe that will happen a little bit this year. Whoever the quarterback ends up being. I'm going to predict right now it's Petrus's job, but, it could be Padilla's too. We never know. But whoever takes it has got to do a better job of running the offense this year. I believe they can. Okay? And I believe the offense can be better. But does that mean that this team can get another 10 wins? Man, guys, it's going to take some work for those guys. They have to come out and give it every game. They can't lose to a Purdue, they gotta, and of course, they've always Wisconsin. Wisconsin and Purdue have Iowa's number. So does Northwestern. So you never know going into those games. Usually going into those games, you can say, right now, lately, since, what's his name? The coach of Purdue has been there. He's pretty much owned Iowa. I think he's only lost to Iowa once or twice. And so that's not good. He seems to know how to beat Iowa. So that's not good. Then you got Northwestern. You never know what Northwestern team you're going to get. 1 year they're the cream of the crop, and the next year they're crappy. So I would say that this year they're due to be good. They're due to be good, and they're going to be tough to beat again. It's always, I don't care what Northwestern's record is. They're tough to beat anytime you meet them. And, lately they own us more than we own them. Okay, and then so there's three teams. Wisconsin, which we rarely beat. Once in a blue moon. Northwestern and Purdue, who lately have had our number. Although we do get Northwestern a lot more than I think we get the other two. I mean, as far as beating them. Okay. Then you got Michigan, Ohio State. Two very, very tough games. Okay. There's 5 games right there that could either end in a loss, And so that's 5 games easily that could end up in a loss right there. Okay, you got Iowa State. I don't have any idea, now that all their super seniors have graduated and things. I don't know how good they're going to be this year. I don't know much about them. Maybe my Iowa State friends and fans on here can just tell me what the expectations for Iowa State are this year. Okay, but they're tough. It doesn't really matter what the Iowa State record is. They're going to be tough. Iowa, even when they were in the years that they're very far superior over Iowa State, it still showed it still were tight, close, freaky games. Yes, and Iowa's got a winning streak over them. Iowa has a winning streak over Minnesota that's quite lengthy, 6 or 7 games now. Sooner or later, Minnesota's going to bite us in the butt. Could it be this year? Minnesota's not a bad team. They're on the verge, and so they could get us there. I mean, they really could. I think that game could go either way. Okay, then you got Illinois. Illinois is a rising team. Yes, we got them last year, but how long can we continue our mastery over that team? It's just a matter of time. All right, and then who else we got? Nebraska. Every year I say I think this is the year Nebraska is going to rise up, except last year. That was the first time I said Nebraska is not going to rise up. They had too many transfers, and Nebraska has the talent. Don't get me wrong. They have a lot of talent on that team. I just don't think it's being coached correctly, and I don't know what to expect from Nebraska this year. I do know that they've made an awful lot of changes. They've been very active in the transfer portal, getting players to come in. I think it's do or die for Frost this year. He knows that. The team knows that. And, really, they weren't a bad team last year. They just didn't know how to finish games. If they'd finished games last year, and I got a feeling they're going to finish some games this year. They're, I don't know what their final record is because I haven't really looked at their schedule for next year, and it's really too early. We can really go into predictions once we get later into the summer camps, and the summer camps are going, and the fall camps are opened up, and we can really get a better idea of what's going on by that time. But yeah, I think Iowa can be a very good team, but don't be surprised if they lose 4 or 5 games, being a good team. You got to have a little luck here go your way. You got to have some ref calls go your way. You got to have the ball bounce your way. You got to force some turnovers, which Iowa's very good at forcing turnovers. And you notice in the games that they don't win last year, 4 losses, they weren't doing a very good job of getting the ball. And matter of fact, I believe they made some turnovers of their own, so that didn't help. So, but I know that people think I'm going, well, I always underestimate the Hawkeyes. Maybe I do. Maybe I do that because I'm trying to be what I call realistic. I'm kind of looking, look who they have playing, what has the past history been, and who are they playing, and where are they playing these people, okay? I predicted 10-win seasons the last couple seasons. I thoroughly did. I didn't underestimate the Hawkeyes there. I honestly thought they could do that. I didn't predict a 10-win season in the COVID shortened season where they went 6-2. But I did predict an undefeated season in a Big West Championship. The Big West Championship didn't happen. They didn't go undefeated. And they didn't get to play their last 2 games. So a lot of factors went into that. how close they came to being an 8-win team. And if you remember the Northwestern and the Purdue losses, we could have easily won those games too, as we lost them. And so that could have been a 10-0 season, guys, a 10-0 regular season. So easily. So that didn't happen. So anyway, but I did predict good things. I didn't underestimate our Hawkeyes those years. And I'm on record. It's in writing somewhere in 247hawkeye.com and on several NHA podcasts with Nolan in our predictions, that we've made over those seasons, so they're there. It's there, guys. It's there. It's on tape forever. You just have to go dig it out and find it if you want to. So I did underestimate the basketball team for this year, but I don't think I was the only one. I think a lot of people did. But I got once they started their run, I did get on the bandwagon and drink the Kool-Aid and really thought they could be a Final Four team, after watching how they were playing. And guess what? You know the story. So we were wrong there. So yeah, I may have started out the season underestimating them, but I guess I overestimated them for the tournament. So, but yeah, I don't know if I'm underestimating the football team for next year or not. I know that, us fans always want the team to win big, and they're never going to win big because, well, they do, but that's when they get help from the offense, the special teams, and defense and scoring. But if it's just left to the offense to score, they'll never win big. But I don't know. I'm not a Hawkeye hater, obviously, because I'm a huge fan. I'm probably one of their biggest fans. Like I said before, I was born in Iowa City, lived there first 10 years of my life, grew up going to Hawkeye games, and even got to televise run videotape for KWWL. It wasn't videotape, it was film in those days, for Hayden Fry's very first Big Ten game against Indiana, which we had a big lead at halftime, but eventually lost the game. I believe that was Hayden Fry's first Big Ten game. I got to be on the sidelines filming the whole thing for the Waterloo station. And they did run highlights that I did that night, but not very much. I don't think, I don't know why, it wasn't as big a deal as it is now, but it wasn't as big a deal then. I'm sure they wouldn't have trusted a 19, 20-year-old kid, still going to college with a camera and run down there to Iowa City on little to no sleep with my best friend at the time, to run a tape and run it and manage to get it back in town in time to run on the newscast that night. So, yeah, but that was part of the highlight of my Hawkeye career. My highlight career is being on the sidelines for Hayden Fry's first Big Ten game, even though they lost, and getting to film it for a local news station in Waterloo. So, that's a little trivia there for you guys. So, yeah, I don't think when I say underestimating the Hawkeyes, I say 10 wins isn't. 10 wins is possible, but it's going to be hard to get there. Very, very hard. Very hard, okay? We automatically think that Iowa's the cream of the crop in the West, every year. I just don't. Yeah.
You want me to take your trash?
Sure. Thank you.
Is this going too?
Yes.
I might be able to sell this.
Go for it. If you can get any money for it, you can keep it.
I'll share it with you.
All right. I'm sorry about that, guys. I got my next door neighbor volunteered to run my garbage out. He saw me having it sit out there. I was getting ready to go to the gym after I do this. And so I had it sitting by my front door, and he walked by and grabbed it. So you get to see a little bit of that. He's been in my videos before, though. All right. So what else can I say? Oh, I was just going back to, with one of the posters say, I always underestimate the Hawkeyes. I'm not really underestimating them because 10 wins is still possible. All I said was in the Facebook page is that it's going to be very tough to get to 10 wins. And somebody called the Music City Bowl a crap bowl. That Iowa wouldn't be going to a crap bowl this year. Well, number one, I don't consider Music City Bowl a crap bowl. I believe they had after the playoffs and New Year's Six and what used to be the Outback Bowl. I don't know what they're calling it now. Tampa Bay Bowl, I guess. And then what used to be called the Capital One Bowl, now called the Citrus Bowl. I believe they had the pick after that. Okay, so if they end up at the Music City Bowl, that means they probably won 8 or 9 games. And there's nothing wrong with the Music City Bowl. That's a decent bowl, and it's a bowl that that Iowa fans can drive to and get into, and won't have to spend a ton of money. And it's in a good city in Nashville. So, what's wrong with that? Okay, I don't really consider them a crap bowl. People want them to be in a New Year's Six bowl or a playoff. Yeah, we all do. We're fans. That's what we want. Not everybody can go there. So. I would still project Iowa as the favorite to win the Big Ten West this year, along with Wisconsin. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to come down to the game between those two, because this year it would have been Wisconsin if it was the game that came down between the two because they won. However, you never know. If you lose to Wisconsin, make sure you're going out there doing what you take to win the rest of the games and hope you get some help like they did last year to win the Big Ten West. My expectations for Iowa football is to be in contention for the West every year. And I believe they have. They've been right there for the most part. They've been in contention for a lot of years now. They've won it twice. They've been runner-up a couple times and third place a couple times. So I would say that's pretty well in contention. It's just you got to take care of business. You got to take care of your games. You got to win the game. You got to win the games that you need to win, that you're supposed to win, and win the 50-50 games. If you can win the 50-50 games and the games you're supposed to, losing to the teams that you're not supposed to be wouldn't be a big deal. I'm sure Iowa will not be favored against Ohio State. I'm sure they will not be favored against Michigan. They may not even be favored against Wisconsin, but we won't know that until we get into the season because we need to see how these teams play. So that being said, I just kind of wanted to address the issue of people thinking that I underestimate these Hawkeyes. I don't. I'm being realistically saying that. I haven't even given my official prediction yet, that I think an 8 to 9 win season is very possible. Also, 10-win season is very possible, but it's going to be tough. Very, very hard. If they get to 10 wins this year, they really, truly, truly earned it. So, I'll give you that. Anyway, I tried to keep you guys up to date and promise I don't have any big news right now or anything. I gave you my little bit of football recruiting news and wrestling recruiting news and stuff already, so... just keep watching the articles on the page, Iowa Hawkeye Sports fan page. Iowa Hawkeye Sports page. It's for you, the fans, to share your thoughts, share your articles. We keep putting articles out there on our thoughts and stuff, and we're continuing to grow. As of today, we're at 2,700 plus. That's so much more than I imagined when we first started. And so if you reach this far, thank you, if you've gotten this far in my video. We thank you, the admins thank you, and we'll just keep adding, and hopefully you guys are enjoying our content enough that that you are okay and enjoying it. And so just share it with everybody, share the YouTube video with everybody. I'm gaining a few more subscribers, but I'd like to gain a few more. So keep sharing it with your friends, subscribe. Help me get to that plateau of 1,000. I'm a long ways from it. Right now I'm in the 30s followers, but that's far cry from where I was last week. I think I've gained 5 or 6 followers since last week. So let's gain some more, okay? I'm gonna sign this out. This went way longer than I thought. I would have put this on my laptop. Otherwise, cell phone use the whole time. So yeah, let's end this and say happy Hawkeyes, and maybe we'll get some more spring news. I think we got spring game coming up in a couple of weeks, and we'll get some video out there, and we'll talk about what we see in the spring games. And so I'm still working on the idea of the softball and baseball stuff. I'm trying to find some more content on them and see what's going on with their season. And I understand the track season's ongoing there too. So let me see what I can do to get you guys some new content on that. If I can get some new content on that, I'll get a video up right away. I won't wait till next week. All right, so I'm going to sign out. Have a good day. Enjoy this, and share, and subscribe.